That was supposed to fall. What's up, everybody? I'm Wes from Over What Now Off-Road, and today we're going to talk about jacks, specifically the high lift and the Badlands. First off, let's talk about some specs. So with the Badlands, has this awesome extension, super handy. It's removable. This whole plate unbolts. So the minimum height for this be right around 6¼ inches high. The high lift will be 4½. The max lift height on the Badlands is 29 inches, 29 1/8 or something like that. This 48-inch high lift, the max lift height is 38 inches. So 10-inch difference basically between the two. This jack, according to Harbor Freight's website, weighs, I think it's 80 pounds. 72 pounds. The shipping weight was like 79, so I don't know the difference there. Cardboard's not that heavy, but 72 pounds. On the High Lift's website, it says this is right at 28 pounds, which I think that's a lie. This thing feels way heavier than 28 pounds, but that's what the website says, so that's what we're gonna go with. 6,000 pound lift capacity. So High Lift says this is tested at 7,000 pounds, which I believe. It's a heck of a tool. But it also says rated at 4660. So I'm kind of thinking it's rated to do 4660, and then the tested weight's 7,000 is what they call it, tested weight. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know what the difference is between the rated and the tested weight. But either way, impressive for what it is. The other spec I've got is the high lift can be used as a winch, and they give it a 5,000 pound winch rating, which is pretty awesome because I don't know any other jack you can use for a winch. Also, with the right attachments, it can be used as a clamp, and they have a clamping force rating, which is awesome. Now maneuverability, you just pick this up and carry it. You can take it wherever you want. It's awkward being long, but they've been making them for like 100 years. They know what they're doing. I love the high lift jack. The Badlands off-road jack, sweet jack. My wife got me this for Christmas. It actually surprised me. She does good with gifts, but like she can't keep secrets. So I always get gifts way ahead of time, or she'll spill the beans. But Christmas morning, I actually got surprised with this. I was super excited. But let's talk about it for a minute. It's a floor jack, right? It's a floor jack with big tires. It's got a completely flat belly, so it's made to not sink in like sand, I guess. It's a Pro Eagle knockoff. But hey, it's affordable. Guys like me, everyday guys, can afford it. Super cool. One thing I just discovered, it has a lock right here. So I'll move that down. So your jack goes up and down, right? You flick this lock, and that's for maneuverability. So pretty cool little design there. It's got a clamp here. When you remove your extension, you lay it in here, clamp it over. It holds the Allen wrench you need to remove this, which is really awesome. Everything's right here. I'm not gonna take it off because y'all don't wanna watch me take it off. But when you take that off, it turns into just a normal floor jack. It's got a flat plate, it's just a little taller, right? But for lifted vehicles, we're on the back of my 86 Toyota pickup right now. It's just old man Emu suspension, so it's lifted a little. Our 5th gen 4Runner behind me is a 2½, 3-inch lift with 35, so it's really tall. My old jack could barely even reach it. I was sticking a block of wood in there, you know, doing sketchy stuff that a lot of us have done. But yeah, how cool is that? Your tool goes there. You've got the clamp to mount your extension. Your extension has a few different settings. It is just a very cool, very versatile jack. It is heavy. I don't know where I'm gonna mount it at. We have a steel rear bumper. We have a swing out for jerry cans. I'm eventually gonna do a swing out for a spare tire, and I'd like to be able to carry this with us. I think it's awesome. I want to use it. I want to put it to the test. The handle comes apart in the middle, and then also you unscrew this and the handle slides right out. So if you need to pack it down or to mount it, super easy. Most mounts I've seen, you put these in the bottom, put the jack on top, and either strap it or clamp it down. Very cool. Out of the box, it was real easy. I'm trying to remember what I had to put the wheels on it. Had to put the handle in, and I had to mount this bracket to hold the extension. Strap was already on there. I think that's it. It was very simple, very easy to do. It came with a wrench to do the wheels, but it sucked, so I used a ratchet and a socket like most of you would anyways. But yeah, it's super cool. Very cool tool. I like it a lot, if you can't tell. But I haven't got to use it. But guess what? It's a floor jack. And it's gonna work like a floor jack. Same process that we all know. I think it's worth the money. Twist the handle, goes down. All the normal stuff. Next up, the high lift jack. I love this thing. I think this is an awesome tool. Very versatile, very handy. As far as jacks go, I mean, bottle jacks are handy too, but I'll choose this over bottle jack most of the time, depending on what I'm doing, of course. The thing about the high lift is you have to have some common sense. You need to know what you're doing, but you need to respect it. It can hurt you. I mean, at the end of the day, any of these can hurt you if you're not using them right. But simple operation. Pull that up to go up. Hit it down to go down. It goes down better when there's weight on it. And the only tool you need with this, I have this base plate, which comes in handy when you're not using it on solid ground. All you need with this thing is a can of WD-40. Spray it on there every once in a while. I like to spray it on there before I use it for something. But this company's been around forever. They've been making this exact jack forever. They have a few different models. I don't know all the differences. I just know I've had this one for, man, probably almost 20 years. I mean, I feel like I'm getting old saying that now, but I grew up on a farm, so my dad's got an even older one than this that's not even red anymore. Can't tell what kind. It's rust is what it is. And I grew up using that thing. Trucks, trailers, whatever. We'd load a trailer too heavy and the crank jack on the trailer wouldn't lift it. We'd grab the old farm jack. We call it, I think Dad called it a house jack, is what he called it. Farm jack. I call it a high lift because giving credit to high lift, right? Like I said, very handy, very versatile, but it can be dangerous. I know there's a few videos floating around of a guy going to lower it and he lets go of the handle and just lets the handle flop back and forth. I mean, they'll knock your teeth out if your hands slip off. That's just how it goes because you're supporting the weight of the vehicle. But done safely and paying attention, I think this is one of the best tools you can have. All right, so the high lift, my trailer here, it's empty, not very heavy. Once again, click that up. Get it where you want it. You just push it down. It ratchets. Listen for the clicks. And that's it. But a little wobbly, right? A little wobbly. You can knock it out from under here. It's possible, but it comes back to being safe, right? This is a pretty heavy-duty trailer, so lifting from the side of the tongue's never been an issue, so don't come yell at me for that. To go down, simple. Click down. So right here, you've got all the weight. Boom, I've got all the weight. So when you're lifting something heavy, that's where it can be an issue. So if that was a lot heavier vehicle or anything else, it would have slapped back and forth. But that's the high lift. So next, the Badlands. Super simple. Operates like every other floor jack. Twist the handle to the right to raise. Get your pad where you want it. Press down. Basically the same motion as a high lift, just no ratcheting. It just uses oil, hydraulic pressure to build and release. To let it down, just twist the handle the opposite way to the left. And you can be in control with both the jacks. I would say this is a little more controlling because you can stop. With a high lift, you have, increments to go up and down. But either jack, you're in control. Safer, probably. Just because of the amount of, you can start and stop whenever you want. But with the high lift, if you're going down and you need to stop, you can just hold it. So, pretty simple. All right, so lifting with the Badland. Man, doesn't fit into the rear end. That sucks. All right, so lifting with the Badlands. Front wheels are Scotch, going underneath the front axle. Excuse me, rear axle. You just give her a few pumps. There it is. Both tires off the ground, easy peasy. Set it back down. Next up, the high lift jack. The key difference between the two jacks is, one, the high lift has to go under a bumper, front, rear bumper, rock slider. They make straps that go on wheels, things like that. Whereas the floor jack is going to go under the axle, under the frame. So anytime you're lifting from the frame, the bumpers, the rock sliders, your suspension is going to droop, so you got to go farther to get your tire off the ground. But let's see if we can pick this thing up. I don't know if y'all can see that. So this is the dangers of this jack. I'm off the ground, but I'm wobbling. This is what normally people get into. This is why they're scary. That's why people don't like them. Not near as controlled in this position, but it's still up off the ground. You can still do it. I wouldn't do it like this to change a tire. I would try to pick one side up at a time. But if you're stuck off-road or having problems off-road, throw this under a corner, throw it under a side. It's gonna do what you need to do. But this is the biggest concern with this jack, paying attention to this. To go back down, remember, you've got all the weight on you as soon as that pin comes out. I recommend using two hands. And watch your pins. Pop out, it goes back in. When you go up, out, in. when you go down. All right, all the weight's on you. The pin comes out, goes back in. So, I know this was a fairly quick video. I wanted it to be. It's just a simple, how do you operate them? What's the differences? This is not a, which one's better, right? It depends. I grew up on a farm. My parents still have it. I still work on it. I help my neighbor all the time. This jack right here is a very good tool. Very handy tool. I love high lift jacks, but you have to respect them. I wouldn't recommend them to somebody with no experience. I'd say get to somebody with experience before you try them out. The Badlands off-road jack, it's awesome, right? I think a jack with big wheels should have came out a long time ago, because we all know our standard Ford jacks won't run over a zip tie, right? This wheel, I drug it through snow, drug it through mud, grass, gravel. If you can pull it, it'll go. You can drag this anywhere you want to too. You can throw this. This can be a weapon. I mean, that's a joke, right? But both have their perks. I love how you can use this one in a shop or in your driveway if you're like me. It'll go under multiple vehicles. If all you have is trucks, no low to the ground cars, this thing's perfect, especially with the extension. That's awesome. And yeah, like I said, this wasn't which one's better. One might be better for you than the other. I know in the off-road world, the high lift jack's been the go-to forever, and I see why. Both are cool. I'm glad I have both. I don't know which one I'm going to carry most of the time. To be honest with you, I haven't carried a jack off-road in a long time. If I take my old truck, I always throw the high lift in it because I have the room. But I've never mounted the high lift to the 4Runner. I've thrown it on the roof rack a couple times, but that's it. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please give me a like, subscribe if you enjoy the content. We're trying to get better at our videos, trying to get better at what we're doing. And if you want to see more comparisons, let me know. Or if you want to see how to operate this as a winch, throw a comment. And I would love to do more videos on these jacks specifically. Thanks, everybody. Hi, Amy.
What are you doing?
Making a video. What are you doing?